add to cart might not solve all the world's problems, but it's kind of fun right now. I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today, it's episode 414, Designer Decor Deals on Amazon Part 2. You loved Part 1, so we're bringing you Part 2.
Well, it's so fun to be putting things in my cart that aren't food. You know what I mean?
And you don't have to wait to schedule delivery. They just go ahead and do it. Yeah.
I know, although you're not getting it till May or June, but whatever.
But hey, you know what? That makes it even less painful for your wallet. You know, it's a little delayed.
Right. That's true. Good
well,
point.
If you're listening to this on April 22nd, 2020 or thereabouts, we are podcasting during the COVID-19 virus sheltered home lockdown situation. And we thought, what better time to give you some tips on shopping from home, because everybody seems to be itching to add a little bit more to their home, feather their nest a little bit more, make some improvements. So we thought we'd dive into the world of Amazon for you again.
Well, and I think we're just, we want a break from all the bad news. And then, like I said, I spend all day, because we're not going into stores, I spend all day putting food in my cart for curbside pickup or for delivery. And I usually have 3 or 4 lists running to see who actually has a slot for a delivery or pickup, because that's even hard to find these days. So yeah, I really was looking for some sort of distraction.
Right. And maybe you are too. So this is going to be great. Another distraction that you will, I think, might be very helpful for some people that are out there with soon-to-be college-age children. A client of mine runs a company called College Edge, and she is giving free online college talks for seniors and juniors. There's one coming up on April 23rd. So if you're listening to this the day it comes out, that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. We'll put the link to that in the show notes. It's parents and juniors making the most of college planning from home. So there's a lot of confusion about, what's going to happen for people that are applying or need to be applying next year. And there have been a lot of changes with colleges, like a lot of them going test optional, which is very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to cover all of that and more in that talk. So my client's name is Jenny, and I will leave the link to her business as well as this free online college talk in the show notes.
That's amazing. And a shout out to my daughter, Evie. She just finished all the coursework for her teacher's alternative certification.
Awesome, Evie. Congratulations.
So she's ready to be a student teacher, but, it's hard to get the job right now, because I don't think anybody's even doing any interviewing right now.
Right. So, but hey, great time to get all the coursework out of the way, and she'll be ready to roll when everything opens back up.
Exactly. And I think we're going to be back, on track in the fall for sure. So.
Oh, yeah. And, when we're recording this, it's several days before it releases. Everything changes. So who knows? Things might have improved markedly as far as the distancing and all of that once this goes live. So let's turn our attention to a little online shopping, Anita.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm excited to see what you picked out. So you start us off.
Okay, well, I figured I'd start at the front door. And how about a new doormat? I had been eyeballing one with the word hello on it in sort of scripty. And I went to a store that I had seen one in a magazine, and they didn't carry that anymore. So I thought, let me start my search on Amazon. And sure enough, they had a really cute one. It comes in a lot of different colors, from aqua to navy. It's that core material, so that really that natural fiber that really allows people to scrape off their shoes and things like that. And the one that I would get is black with the natural core hello. So, the black is imprinted on there, and then they leave the core, its natural color, to write in script the word hello. It's 18 inches by 30, and it's absolutely adorable. It's $20.99, which is also a lot less than the one I had seen at another place online. So that worked out well for me. That is currently in my cart.
Oh, Well, I need a new front doormat, but I'm thinking, who's going to see it except for the delivery people
Well,
right now
this is
who don't
why
really seem to
I'm
care.
getting ready. I have
That's
some
true.
other things for the outside and also the entryway because soon enough there will be people coming to my door other than people wearing masks and dropping off bags of groceries.
I know. It's funny. The UPS guy I saw here, he had a handkerchief around his over his face. It looked like the old train robbers.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I really miss about this?
What?
When people wearing these masks, because, when I've been walking the dogs and all of that, and more people every day are wearing the mask. I am not wearing a mask when I'm outside walking the dog. I'm just not getting close enough to someone, so I'm not doing that. But you can't see anyone smile. And that makes me really sad.
Oh, yeah.
Especially from far away. Everyone is, maybe somebody will wave, but you can't make eye contact. You're so far away. You would be able to see a smile. So now you can't even see anyone smile.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that, but that's an excellent point. And I've heard some people have had issues because they have the masks on and they're using the face recognition on their phones, and the phone doesn't recognize them.
Oh, please. My phone doesn't recognize me if I have my hair in a ponytail. It doesn't recognize me if I have my glasses on and not my contact lens. So, yeah, definitely it would not recognize me if I had a face mask on. So give me your first one for today.
So agate bookends.
Mm-hmm.
And I found these, let's see, it's the Royal Gift Shop, I think is the seller. These are from Brazil. They have blue and they have some different sizes, different colors. So I gather it's actually kind of a natural color. This agate is actually kind of a white and oatmeal and tan colored. And they will color it. It's actually dyed, I think, whatever color you want, because there's a blue, purple, teal. But I think that's being dyed. I'm not really sure. But anyway,
so the agate is like a geode.
It's a geode, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's cut and polished.
Yeah.
And
that's
really I just think
pretty.
it's such a pretty thing. It's natural. We talk about the textures and adding natural elements to your home. We talked about that in the Wabi Sabi episode. So this would be a nice way to add it to your home, less than $30. But I also wanted to mention, as we're mentioning these prices, that on Amazon, the prices change daily. So it seems like they go up, they go down. So, it may not be the exact price if we mention it.
Yeah. So I would say, approximately. It's so true. And color seems to change. Maybe a more popular color is a little bit more like in this doormat that I was telling you. The aqua one was only $17.99, but the black and the navy was $20. So it doesn't seem like it's that much of a difference, but definitely $3 to $5 as far as the color.
Yeah, and that's how I got a wool rug on Overstock for a ridiculous price, because I chose the purple one that nobody wanted, and it was a fantastic price.
Right. Okay, so my next one is a lucite tray with gold handles. You can also get silver handles. It's such a really good looking tray. And I find that I kind of think lucite should be cheaper than it is. I just recently bought a very slim coffee table for Laura's lounging room. It's, again, small room, low visual noise. I thought it would be great, and it is. It's a wonderful table, but I took a long time to find one because I just didn't want to spend over $200 on it, and I ended up getting one for just under $200. But I was like, that seems like a lot because it's
for a tray.
No, that was for her table. But I'm saying lucite in itself, because you think it's clear plastic. Like, why should this cost this much? Because it has to be sturdy. It's not like a plastic box or packaging that you're getting. It has to be sturdy, and so it's thicker and all that, and the thicker it is, the more expensive it is. Some lucite tables that I was looking at were like almost $1,000, crazy for I was not going to pay that for her room. But this tray is $39.99, which I thought was a great price. But again, just lucite might be a little bit more expensive than you think, but it's very good looking. So it's a lucite tray, 11 by 17. It also comes in various sizes, including an octagon. Now, the octagon one, here's a situation where the price is changing. That one's almost $80, whereas the rectangle ones are $39.99. Has very streamlined gold and silver handles on either side. It's just a very sharp looking tray. And I thought this would be great in the entryway because lots of times I have my silver trays there that are very ornate and old world looking. This would really change the look up dramatically.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In my cart.
I have a tray also as my second item. Interestingly enough, I chose a whitewashed rattan tray, and it has tall sides and handles. And I like the shape of this. I like the color of it because it kind of has that whitewashed feel. And some rattan, it looks a little yellow.
Yeah, that
so
yellowy,
I like that this actually looks kind of more tan and white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the same price as yours, around a little over $40. And they have it in stock, which is also a big issue these days. Yay.
Well, yes. And Prime. I would say that almost everything I picked out, at least when I picked it for you guys, has Prime shipping. So if you have Prime, you're going to do well with that.
Right.
Another thing that, this is an aside, but Peter got us the Amazon, I guess it's a Visa card, and we use it at Whole Foods, primarily just there. And we got it because of the cash back. When we use it to buy groceries, which obviously we'd be buying anyway, you get Amazon credit. Oftentimes, when I go to check out at Amazon, I don't pay any money because I use all of the Amazon points that we've accumulated from going grocery shopping. And
how do you get them from the grocery shopping? I missed that.
You have to get the Amazon Prime credit card.
Oh,
I can look for the link. And we are people who really we do not have a lot of credit cards. I've never.
Yeah, I just used one.
Right. So
Really
I have an American Express, and then I have a Visa or MasterCard because sometimes people don't take American Express. So basically that's
Right.
it. I'm not a person that has like, oh, here's my Macy's card. Well, that wouldn't work anymore or whatever. I don't have, the Bed Bath and Beyond card or whatever. I don't do that.
Exactly.
It's very tempting sometimes when they're like, hey, you could get money back. And I'm like, nope, self-control. But we did get this additional card, and pretty much we just use it when we go grocery shopping at Whole Foods, because I don't know if that's the only place where you get this incredible amount of points, but the points accumulate. It's linked to your Prime account, right? And then you can see it when you check out on Amazon, no matter what you're buying. It doesn't have to be food. And you'll get the points. So they'll just say, oh, do you want to apply your points? If you apply your points, your total is 0.
Stop it.
Oh,
I have to check into that.
It happens so often. And it's substantial. I don't know if they're giving you like double points or something like this, but there's something going on there that I hope never ends. But maybe it's like a promotion sort of thing. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh gosh, I don't want to spend that much on Amazon. And then I go over and I'm like, oh wow, it's really only $14 because of my points. So anyway, a little tip there. If you don't have that, or if you might be interested in getting that, you'd have to look into what it covers, and why I'm getting these fabulous points. But I'll try to find the link and put that in the show notes as well.
Well, yeah, that would be interesting to compare because I use my Costco Visa and they give you cash back at the end of the year. And that's been very good for us. So I would be losing those points, but that's something worth checking into.
Right.
Now, I, have to have something linen in here somewhere. And I'm thinking it's the time of year to go lighter. We still need a blanket on our beds, but we don't need something really heavy. So I love using a lightweight linen blanket on my bed in the summer and the spring here in Texas. So I found a gray one, and this one's really pretty because it's got the fringed edge. And, there's not a lot left in stock, but I think it's a pretty reasonable price, a little over $100. And it's a linen flax blanket, and it's double thick, it says. So it's a 59-inch by 70-inch, so that might not be big enough for you. Just kind of depends. But, I thought that would be very nice. It really is pretty in the pictures.
Oh, good. Yeah, I looked for some linen. I didn't see anything that really struck my eye, but I didn't see what you're talking about. So I'm curious to check that out. I love a little accent lamp, as you know, in the kitchen or just on a little table somewhere. Can add that third element of lighting that you need in all your rooms. And this one is darling. It's marble and brass, and it comes with the shade. It's by Rivet, which I believe is one of the Amazon brands. It is is 7.5 inches by 14 inches tall, and it's $51.99.
So the 7 is the width then?
Yes, the 7 is the base.
Oh, and how much was it, did you say?
$51.99.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
It's a really good looking. And then it comes with a, it looks like a white, off-white linen shade.
Wow. Well, I found also, speaking of fabric things, I love the Turkish towels. We both love those. And I found a brand where they have lots of different colors, lots of different choices, and these are multicolor Turkish towels with a stripe. Some have navy and red. One has orange and red. One has pink and blue. They're really beautiful, and it gives you a set of 6 extra large, it says, for less than $50. So I thought that was a great buy.
That's a great buy.
It's Amazon choice, and it does say 2-day shipping. So I think that's the free shipping.
Now the next one that I have to say, I'm kind of two minds about this. Let me know what you think, Anita. It's a wreath. I'm pretty much over wreaths and have been for a long time. But I was looking up forsythia because I really do love forsythia. And it is that yellow color, which is my accent color. And I had gotten those Crate and Barrel forsythia stems last year that I loved. And I was trying to get more of those. I just bought forsythia from Trader Joe's when I was able to go there, and still have it in my kitchen.
You made it out and went to Trader Joe's. I am so jealous.
I told you that. I sent you a picture.
I know, but I just don't feel like I can go there. I want to go so badly. And I have been searching online to find someone who will deliver from Trader Joe's. And because they've said a DoorDash and a couple of other options. Nope, no one goes to my Trader Joe's.
Yeah, we don't have anyone that goes to Trader Joe's either. Well, what drove me there was Edith and Emmett and Eve, because they have the dried chicken breast from Trader Joe's, which is their absolute favorite. That is our morning routine. We come down, I start my tea, they do their outside chores, they come in, they each have one of those, and everybody's happy. And when they don't have them, I get these 6 eyes on me and the sad faces. So, and it was a beautiful day. So I took what I like to call my old lady cart, the one that I use at the Rose Bowl, and drag it all around, usually filled with grain sacks and other odds and bits and bobs I find at the Rose Bowl. But I walked. So I walked to Trader Joe's. I brought my own cart. I brought my little gloves, and there I went. And it was fine. They only let maybe 6 people in the store at a time. So it was very civilized. Wow.
Well, there's somebody on my street. He went on next door. He went in the grocery store that's, one of the ones we shop at, that's really a few blocks from me. He lives on my street, and he got the COVID.
From there?
He thinks he got it in the grocery store because he said he was doing everything they told him to do, but some lady sneezed in his face.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, life's a risk.
I'm glad you did not get...
No, everybody was well behaved. So anyway, let's get back to...
back to the happy things?
Yes, let's get back to the forsythia wreath. So anyway, I was purchasing forsythia, and so when I was doing my searching on Amazon, I'm like, let me see if they have any forsythia branches, since I can't get them from Crate and Barrel again right now. And this forsythia wreath came up. It's $28.99. It's 25 inches. It's very nicely made. It's from a company who seems to just do this sort of thing. The company's called Idyllic. And I thought, well, that could be really pretty, hanging in my house. But I just don't know if I want to do wreaths anymore. I mean, that seems like sort of, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, people were really heavy into wreaths. You had a wreath for every season and colors. And I don't know that you ever even did that, but I made wreaths. I was kind of really into it for a while. I haven't had one in a long time, so I'm not sure about that one. This is not yet in my cart, but I wanted to let people know about it. It is so springy and pretty. And if you do enjoy a wreath, it's a great price, $28.99.
Well, that sounds so nice. And I used to have a wreath on my front door at the old house all the time. But this one had this beautiful craftsman style wood front door. And I didn't really want to mess it up with putting a hanger on it. So I've never really put one on this door. So anyway.
Yeah, I haven't either because I have the glass and then the screen door in front of it. So I would normally, if I was using a wreath at home, I would put it on the door to the dining room, which you can still see from the front door.
Oh, nice.
But now when I've been walking around so much with the doggies and everything, the houses that have wreaths on the front door just look so inviting and pretty. So I'm thinking to myself, why did I stop doing that? It's kind of nice.
Know. That's true. That's a good point. And I have such a tall door that, I think it could have a nice presence to it because it's like an 8-foot door.
Yeah.
So that would be nice. And I have the craftsman style windows, but they're just up at the very top of the door. So anyway, but I digress. My next item is an Andy Starr bathroom mirror. I don't know who Andy Starr is, but
I
that's
know who
what
Brenda
it's called.
Starr is. Remember Brenda Starr?
No, who is that?
It was a cartoon.
Oh, no, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I don't know. I know who Michael Starr is. He makes T-shirts and clothes.
Brushed gold metal frame.
Uh-huh.
It's got rounded edges. So you know what I'm talking about. You've seen these
Sure.
rectangular mirrors, but with the rounded edges.
Yeah.
Gold.
I like those.
Very thin, really beautiful. And so this is for a bathroom. And I thought these were really pretty. And it looks like, let me pull it up here. Yeah, so it has different finishes, black, bronze, gold, and a couple of different sizes, 22 by 30 or 24 by 36. And, it's the smaller size is, I don't know, it's like around 150, that sort of range.
Sounds good. Okay, I have another sort of outsidey thing, a bird feeder. You have to be careful with the bird feeders because the squirrels avail themselves of the bird feeding. I've made that mistake a few times. I'm like, no birds, no food left. And then you watch for a little while and you see all the squirrels. So this one is built to really only nourish birds because it would be very hard, I think, for a squirrel to get in there. Although, who knows? They could try. It's vintage French country inspired. Anita.
I'll have to see this one.
It's darling. So it has the feeding tube inside, and then it's got this scrolly metal work all around it. And it's pretty color green, 16 inches tall, and it's $22.98. Really cute.
Oh, so nice. Well, and we feed and we have bird houses and bird feeders.
We filled your bird feeder when I was there. That was one of the exciting things we did.
For the bluebirds, yes, we take care of them, but they like the mealworms. So
that was I wish you hadn't said that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but that's what they want, so that's what we have to get for them. Yeah. My next item, I have some chairs similar to this. I don't think I have this. I may have this particular brand, but I can't remember. But the Safavia, which is the good brand that we talk about all the time. They have some black and white indoor outdoor stacking. They call them stacking side chairs, but you know what they are? They're what you and I would call the Parisian bistro chairs that are kind of the vinyl woven. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. So something you would see at a French bistro. Very comfortable chairs too. I have these at our house, and this was a really good price, and it's a set of 2. So I think these would be worth buying. The set I found are black and white, and you can use these indoor or outdoor. I think they would be beautiful both places. Like I said, they're very comfortable. But these, I've seen them also in different colors, but the black and white and I think the blue and white are my favorites.
Those are so timeless and charming.
And I agree so much.
Yeah. And they are comfortable. I found something from Kate and Laurel. That was a company we introduced everyone to last time when we did part 1, which we will, of course, link in the show notes here. And it's a really adorable small scale bar cart. Now, a bar cart is kind of... I'm on the fence about the bar cart as I am about the wreath, but this one really made me take a second look. It's 3-tiered, it's mirrored, it's got gold on it, and I don't think it comes in another finish, but it might. It's 34 inches tall, only 23 inches wide, and 14.5 deep, so it's super small.
Small.
Right, and so you don't even need to use it necessarily as a bar cart. It doesn't really scream bar cart. Like isn't a slot for bottles or things like that. it could just be a charming little shelf. You could probably even put it into a bathroom or something like that with the mirror. It
Sounds
could
nice
be
and
really
tall, too.
sweet.
Did you say 34 inches? Because I like a taller side table.
Yes, yes, you do. We all know that about you. 34 is one of the other unique things about you. 34 inches high, yeah. And it's only $178.32, which is such a weird price. And, prices can vary. So we just don't know if it'll be that price when you go. But it's so cute. And the mirror on it just adds a whole nother dimension. So each of the 3 shelves is mirrored.
Well, I'm right. And I'm with you on this. Bar carts, they've had their moment. And they kind of went in hard and then they went out hard. But you know what? It's still, I think, something that's kind of a classic. I think it's something that you could use anywhere. So if this was an especially really charming one, I think that sounds great.
Yeah. I think it can have a different life as something else. Maybe not a vanity table where you'd sit at it, but it could certainly be really pretty to have maybe your perfumes on the top of it or something. And then on the bottom, maybe some towels stacked or folded or rolled into a basket. You could use it in a variety of places. Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about. Visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
What about the marble and gold coffee tables? I'm still in love with that look.
I love that you love that look. I know. I love that look.
Right. So this one's round and it has the cross piece, the legs underneath that kind of cross.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to see it to see what I'm talking about, but it's Walker Edison Furniture Company, and this is in marble and gold, and this is very reasonably priced. And I'm looking here. Okay, so they have some other similar items, but this is just the coffee table, and they do have it in different colors, but I've chosen the marble and gold, and that one is less than $150, which I think is a pretty darn good price.
That's a great price. Yeah, the marble and gold. I mean, I know. I mean, I have it. So what am I saying? But I do love it. It's a sharp look together. The marble with the black power coated metal, it just doesn't have the same wow. So if you're going to do marble and it's going to have some metal on it, I would encourage you to go the gold or brass route because it's just lovely together. So I have a candle that I am suggesting to you. It's PF Candle Company. It's actually made right here in Los Angeles. They tick all the boxes for the candles that you should be burning. I can't remember what episode, but I remember that we did talk about it, and I gave you a list of things you should be looking for in a candle, so you're not burning bad things and having soot and, risking your health by making your house smell good. So this is a good for you candle by PF Candle Company. The one that I have in my cart right now is number 21. It's the Golden Coast Soy Candle. It smells of salty sea air, lavender, and soothing eucalyptus. And I say, pour it over my head because that seems really nice. And it's only $19 for the 7.2 ounce. And it comes in a really nice sort of amber colored packaging with a little screw top, very simple, rustic sort of label with type font on it. It's very cool looking.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm definitely getting that. And I love supporting local. So this is one of those companies on Amazon. As we mentioned before, there are companies that are small companies that have dipped their toe in or dove in, is that a word? Or dove straight,
I think so.
Straight in, head first into the Amazon marketplace, which is a very hard place to sell things. But apparently, if you do well and you pick up speed and you're doing volume, then Amazon sort of helps you along. Mm-hmm. So yes. There are small companies that are, doing well on Amazon, and apparently PF Candle Company is one of them. So have a look.
Good. The Pioneer Woman has a set of things for your kitchen, just different cooking pots and pans and dishes and that sort of thing. She has a really beautiful jadeite cake stand, and which I love. And I had bought the Martha Stewart one a long time ago.
Oh, well, Martha loves jadeite.
Well, I know.
I just, had one. Martha and I used to hang out in East Hampton. She told me that.
I did, darling. And mine, sadly, this was one of the few casualties from my move.
Oh.
It did not survive. I know. I didn't pack that one. So anyway.
Just saying.
I'm just saying it wasn't me. Because I told everybody to use as much packing as they needed.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so this one is from
stingy.
Pioneer Woman. That's right. But the thing I like about this particular one is that it has the domed glass dome for it as well. Oh. So you could actually put a cake in there and keep it covered. It's a 10-inch size. So, most cakes are 9 or 8 inches. A lot of the older pans were 8, and really 9's about as big as most people go. So this should fit very well in here. And then you can put the cover on, and then you can leave it sitting out because, as we all know, if you put cake in the refrigerator, it's going to get a little stale. So it's best kept sitting out unless your frosting needs to be refrigerated. So I thought this was a great deal, and free shipping too.
I just get such a great visual of, a woman with heels on and an apron, and she just made this amazing, pineapple upside down cake or something, and then she's putting it on the counter, and that was a fun little visual journey I went on while you were talking about that. But hey, what if you don't bake, or you don't want to be tempted by a cake like that sitting on your counter, especially now? Mm-hmm. Couldn't you use the cake pedestal and then the dome cloche just as a decorative item? What if you put a little Easter decoration under there, maybe a little nest and some eggs, and maybe even a cute bunny, chocolate bunny in foil could be under there? Oh,
you're so clever. I think that's a great idea. And the jadeite would be perfect.
So cute, right? Wouldn't that be cute?
I agree.
Okay, another thing for your kitchen that I found is a set of marble canisters. So you get 3 of them, and they have black marble or white marble, and they have bamboo lids that actually have that little suctiony, sealy thing on there too. For the 3 of them, it's $35.99. They're very, very sleek looking, and but also sort of that wabi-sabi organic thing going on because you're talking about real stone. So I like those a lot. I had gotten something like that, not canisters, but more like storagey things many years ago. And I've just used them in so many different ways.
I think that's,
yeah, because you wouldn't have to put it in your kitchen. You could put it in the bathroom or any place, really.
Well, and we love adding marble wherever we can. I think it's such a beautiful texture, just a beautiful element to add anywhere. So I agree with you.
Well, you're going to be excited because I have something marbly coming up that you're going to like.
Oh, good. So M-Tech makes some beautiful doorknobs, and all the doorknobs in our house are M-Tech. So I'm very familiar with this brand. And I found these, they have some on Amazon. The set I found are more simple, a cleaner design than I have. I have the kind of more foofy design. This is a passage set, modern rectangular rosette, and a Windsor crystal knob. So it's a very simple kind of rectangular knob and a rectangular plate that the doorknob is on. And I thought these were really beautiful with the brass and the crystal. So pretty.
I can't believe M-Tech is on Amazon.
I know.
That's really interesting because M-Tech is a great company. I mean, they're right up there with Baldwin. People know Baldwin. It's kind of like a household name. But M-Tech is right up there with them. I used all M-Tech in our prior house. Here, I didn't have to change so much of the hardware because it was all really vintage and, was already here. So I didn't really do a lot of changing at all. But interestingly enough, the client I was talking about in the beginning with the college guidance company, I just purchased all M-Tech for her new doors. And I didn't know they were on Amazon. Wow.
Well, I don't know that they have their full selection on there, but they do have some. And it's such a good brand. I mean, it's really quality workmanship, and they're beautifully done. So you really can't go wrong with them.
Good to know. Okay, here's a throw. Now, I'm thinking of our listeners who have summer houses, or if you're got a coastal look, or if you live somewhere where it's warm and watery all the time. This throw is really darling. Caveat, it is the A word. It's acrylic.
Oh.
Okay, but it has a perfect rating. They have several of them. They have plaids that are really lovely. And I was thinking about, you, Anita, with the Scottish plaid and all of that. They have several different plaids, but the one that really struck me was this one. It's sort of heathered blue, and it has an anchor on it in white, but it's in the weave. It's not on top of it. And it has some fringes.
That.
Did you? It's cute.
It's lovely. Yes.
And the company, I forget the name of the company. I didn't write it down, but you'll see that if you click over there. But they have perfect rating. They have like well over 300 some odd 5-star reviews.
Wow.
Kind of like our podcast, Anita.
Oh, stop it. You're so silly.
So I thought that was really impressive. But
of course.
It's only $27.
Yeah, because it's acrylic.
But no one would know except me and you and whoever bought it.
I know. So that can be very soft. So yeah.
Yeah, acrylic can be very soft. Yes.
Okay. Well, my last one for today is a TOWA, TOWA, Japanese. Oh boy, more stuff I can't pronounce. I don't know why I thought I was going to read this. Anyway, it's a cast iron teapot in black. It's a Japanese cast iron teapot. I love using these for my tea. Now, this particular one is a 22 ounce, which I think is a great size if you're making tea for yourself and someone else. But there's 3 reasons I love the cast iron. 1, it's going to keep your tea hot for a long time. And the way you do it is, before you brew your tea, you pour a little hot water into the teapot, swish it around, pour it out. That's going to get it hot. Then you put your tea in, and it's going to keep it hot for a long time. And secondly, all of these have a little diffuser basket in the top, so you can put your loose leaf tea in there, and you're not going to need to use a strainer when you pour it out. So it's kind of like a little cage in there. It lets your tea swim, but it kind of restrains it so that it's not going to go out when you pour out the tea. And then the third thing is, I don't do this, but you can put these on the stove because they're cast iron. So I love these Japanese teapots because, again, I just think they're very practical. And this is a really pretty one. There's so many, go check them out. You can Google, or it's not Google, but go on Amazon and search for Japanese cast iron teapots, and you'll see all the selection. There's so many beautiful ones. Check them out, but we'll include the link for this one.
That was very educational.
Yeah.
And that would definitely be a nice wabi-sabi element if you were trying to add those elements to your home. Okay, here's my last one for today. I'm feeling a part 3 coming on because I have some other things, but I will end with 10 as well. Marble fruit pedestal. Now it's a fruit pedestal because it's kind of bold, so there's a bowl to it, but that doesn't mean you could put fresh eggs in it. You could put a nest in it. You could put whatever you wanted in it, but they're calling it a fruit pedestal. It's 10.5 by 10.5. It's a Carrara marble. It's really, really pretty.
Sounds
wonderful. So everybody check that out. I had a lot of marble elements today. So yeah, it's just fun to poke around. And sometimes I just put things in my cart and then I have a rethink and I pull them back out. But, just feathering our nest right now is fun, and maybe let yourself indulge yourself a little bit because you deserve it.
And it's just I think it's actually good for your immune system to.
Oh, it is
to not be stressed. So to be relaxed and to be enjoying life. So if you can, get something nice for your home, make your home environment a little better, a little more comfy and cozy and more enjoyable, I think it's going to help your immune system. So, it's
well, I agree. I think that's yes, you're absolutely right, Dr.
I'm just
Anita.
concerned about everyone's health.
Exactly. So vitamin S, do a little shopping. Okay, so on to our hot topic, which is something now we're going to have to start worrying again immediately. But tell us what's going on there.
So we'll include the link like we always do. The title is You're Spending a Lot of Time Indoors Now, meaning during the pandemic.
Duh.
Is your air clean enough? So I think this is a good point, and they're really talking about a lot of off-gassing. And it goes back to what you and I talk about all the time, Kelly, is to buy natural, to use vintage furniture or antique furniture that, guess what? It's done off-gassing. It's not going to be off-gassing like this brand new furniture. Right. And it didn't have all the stuff in there to off-gas.
To start out with, right? Yeah.
And then secondly, how we talk about using so many natural materials. You're not going to have the level of off-gassing if you have a wool rug that you are if you're going to have, something that's a synthetic material. So, and again, it's like, it kind of has an additive effect. So if you just have one or two things, it may not be a big deal, but the more synthetic things you have in your house, the more things that might have a flame retardant stuff sprayed on it or other chemicals, the more you have to be careful. So, and some of these things, one time I bought a roller cart suitcase for a trip, and I opened it up and it smelled like a paint thinner. And I let it air out for weeks, and it didn't do any good. And I put something in it and sealed it up and opened it up a couple days later, and then every fabric thing that was in it then smelled the same. I had to return it.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys about that rug that I had to return. I mean, I didn't even really take it off the porch. I unrolled it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so bad. Mm-hmm. So, it's really is important to look for things that have a low VOC. So that's the VOC is volatile organic compounds. Now, organic, like that's a little misleading there, I guess, in a sense, but these are volatile, so not good. Benzene, formaldehyde. So look to see what's in these things. Even these polypropylene rugs and all these things, we talk about them. They're out there. Some are going to be better than others. Certain paint companies are going to be producing better paint that's better for you. And you should be looking for that. And most companies like Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, they all have low VOCs. Farrow and Ball is almost no off-gassing and no chemicals in their paint. So you might have to pay a little bit more. Maybe you have to go to the premium type of paint, but it's definitely worth it, particularly for things like paint and rugs, or if you're having your floors redone or floors put in. That's the stuff that you can't throw in the washing machine that, after a while isn't going to just stop off-gassing. It's going to off-gas for years.
Well, what about wall-to-wall carpet? If you have synthetic wall-to-wall carpet, you've got to be really careful. That stuff off-gasses for a long time.
It's kind of amazing I don't have like another, third arm coming out of my forehead, because I know I had like flame retardant princess pajamas when I was little.
I did too.
And I was rolling around in synthetic sheets, and I had bright apple green shag plastic carpeting in my room.
Oh, you were lucky. I didn't have that. Wow.
I know. I don't even want to tell you how it wasn't a canopy bed, but it was the white furniture. And I know that you really wanted that. I'm sorry.
Well, and so this brings me to when we bought our mattress recently. I went with an organic mattress, and I thought at first, who cares? I'm not eating it.
Right.
What does it matter whether it's organic? Well, it apparently does not off-gas, and it doesn't have formaldehyde in it. And even the glues off-gas in so many of these mattresses.
But
and I'm thinking I'm sleeping on it for 8 hours a night.
Exactly, like face plant on it. But don't freak out. I mean, read this article if this is of interest to you, and it is an interesting article. But there are definitely things that you can do, and we may even do an episode about this, particularly the fact that everybody's been inside for so long, and then you start to think
Open
about
your windows,
these things.
Go outside.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then,
but if it, like Anita's saying, if it's not every single thing, it's going to be fine. But you have to watch out what you're bringing into your house. Like from now on, or from whenever you heard about this, it is something to care about and to look for.
Well, but the other thing is there's a particular client that was mentioned. The designer chose some sort of finishes in the house. Didn't smell bad to her, but then they started getting sick and had headaches and everything. So I think if you're not having a lot of symptoms, you're probably okay. But, it's just something to think about going forward.
Right.
So I don't think you're in serious danger unless you're having a lot of physical symptoms every day. And then if you are, check into it, because it might be something as easy as throwing out something that's in your house to fix it.
Yeah, there you go. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health: potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. How about a crush?
My crush is, well, it's been so interesting listening to these podcasts and watching YouTube videos where people are normally in a studio doing things professionally. Everybody's at home, so everybody's got, the hair like we have, that hasn't been overly styled by, of course, your hair always looks fabulous, but they don't have the professional stylist doing everything for them. So everyone's kind of doing things from home. So it's kind of fun getting a view into all these celebrities' homes. And something I've been enjoying watching is the Paula Deen YouTube channel. So she's been doing quarantine cooking from her house. And so she's got her baseball cap on. She's not all done up. But it's so soothing because she just seems like your fun aunt. And she's talking about doing all this cooking. And so she's just doing like 10-minute videos. So they're easy to watch. I'm really enjoying them. But the little side thing that makes me really enjoy watching them is that she's from Georgia, which is where my Kevin's Aunt Queenie is from. She passed away.
Queenie.
I know. So we miss her. So Paula Deen sounds exactly like her.
Oh, so you just close your eyes.
So I know. So, and she, Queenie cooked too all the time. So it's kind of like a little bit of it's a very much of a comfort thing for me to watch her.
I bet Queenie made cakes that were worthy of a pedestal and a dome.
Oh, she did.
I bet she did.
Yeah. So that's my crush for today. So how about you?
Oh, okay. So I have one. It's the photographer. Her name is Jamie Beck, and she has done some amazing photography over the years. She lived in New York for a long time and then decided to take a year in Provence, and that year just became the rest of her life. She never went back. So she is in Provence now with her partner. I don't know if it's her husband, and they have a little baby, and she is now creating these beautiful works of art, these beautiful photography works of art each day of the isolation. So she's calling it the isolation creation. And it's sometimes flowers, sometimes vegetables, sometimes bread and wine and whatever she can get her hands on. And she's creating them every day. And she is offering the poster prints of these beautiful still lifes on her site, jamiebeckco.com. I bought day number 2. It's absolutely beautiful. And then she had she has a lovely Instagram with gazillions of followers, and she'll do an Instagram story about how she creates each one of them. And it was just so beautiful to watch and so soothing to watch her create it and then take the picture and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that coming. I just purchased it yesterday, I believe. So go have a look at jamiebeckco.com and you can see, I think she's up to day, well, as of our recording, she's up to day 26. It's from when France basically shut down.
A little earlier than we did, right?
Yeah,
right.
I think it was the 14th of March in France. Yeah. So anyway, lovely. And her other website, which may be linked on this one, I think it's called Ann Street Studios or something, and that's where she has all her other photography. It's just stunning. Our question today is from someone who recently found us, Alice J. Alice was on episode 30. Alice, we'd like to say we'd wait for you to catch up, but we must keep going. You're going to have to binge us to catch up, Alice, but enjoy us along the way. Alice has a walnut table that I think she got it from her mom or her grandma. It's really lovely. It actually would open up into a dining table. It's kind of one of those older tables where you're like, wow, look at this thing. It folds out and all this. But she's intending to use it as an entry table. So in that form, it's kind of like a console table. It has some carvings on it. They're building a house that's going to have sort of a farmhouse feel to it. And she's wondering if we have some ideas on how to sort of freshen up the table a little bit, make it a little bit less formal for her use in her entryway in her new home?
Well, I think probably there's two options. I thought it was lovely by itself. It was kind of a dark,
Yeah.
maybe
She
oak.
thinks it's walnut.
Oh, well, okay. If it's walnut, I would leave it alone.
Don't you paint that thing? Yeah.
A walnut is such a beautiful grain, and everything that I have that's walnut, I wouldn't even think of touching it because the grain is so beautiful, and you can't even get it anymore. So that's my first thought on that. But if she were insistent on doing something, she could paint it, whatever color she wanted, or she could even do a whitewash with a liming wax is something that she could do if she wanted to lighten it up. But
So maybe like an Amy Howard product she could explore over there.
Yes, she's got a liming wax that you could use. So those are a couple of options.
Okay, Alice, my thought is I love brown furniture. I love painted furniture too, but I love brown furniture. And I agree with Anita. If that really is, in fact, walnut, I wouldn't put any, please don't make it chalk painted. Please don't do that to it. I would just freshen it up and make it a little less formal with what you put on it. And so I have a very similar table, though I know mine is oak, but it's a darker stain on the oak in my entryway. And it has all sorts of beautiful carving on it too. And I think at one point I probably was tempted to paint it because I wasn't really appreciating the brownness of it, I guess, like I do now. It's kind of when that painted furniture thing was just so crazed and you're like, pretty much got the paintbrush in your hand, dripping, looking like, who's my next victim? But I'm so glad I never painted this one. It is lovely the way it is, just as yours is. So what I've done to mine to sort of freshen it up is I have a grain sack runner on it all the time. I think the nubbiness of a grain sack, particularly if you're going to have a farmhouse style home, really will work. That will make it feel a little more casual. So, a grain sack runner with maybe, a stripe that is in your palette. Obviously, the grain sacks come in a variety, but a limited variety of colors: red, green, blue, black, and the mustardy color. And then maybe if you want to make it a little bit fresher in a sense, don't use a lamp that is sort of historically correct with it. Use something that will be juxtaposed with it. Use something that's a little sleeker as a lamp. And then maybe you put a tray or create a vignette on there that has a little bit more fresher, modern look to it. And I think that really will transform the table. Don't be afraid to mix the ages on that table or anywhere in your house, because I think that creating that tension is really what makes decorating interesting. So let us know. We'd love to see if you wouldn't mind sending us some photos of what you end up doing with the table. We would love to see.
I love your idea of the table runner. I think that's another nice thing to do that kind of lightens it up, but it doesn't impact the table at all. So it's totally reversible, unlike paint, which is not completely reversible.
No, that's hard.
I know. Well, this was so fun. I hope that we cheered you up a little bit. If you're having a rough day today, remember, we're thinking about you, and we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. I want to remind you that we are available for design consults. We take on your design dilemmas, questions, renovations, any project you want to talk about, any room, any space. We are here for you. And we really do enjoy doing these. And I think we've helped people a lot. So if you want to sign up for a consult, head to the link in the show notes. It's decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. We hope to talk to you soon.